Hello everyone, in this video I have another IEM to review. This is a Truthear Crinacle 0. So let's start off with the build, cable, and fit. So fits pretty nice in my ear. There's no sharp edges. The color is very nice. It changes to purple and blue depending on how the light shines on it. Yeah, it's a one-piece design, probably 3D printed. And then the cable is a little flimsy, a little plasticky, but it retains its shape in a nice manner. There's not anything I could complain too much about for the price point that it's at. So yeah, good build, okay cable, and the fit is pretty amazing. So yeah, now let's talk about the sound aspects of things. So this has two dynamic drivers. I'm pretty sure you guys could see that, but this is dedicated solely towards the sub bass, and then this tweeter, that's a dynamic driver, takes care of all of the treble notes and the mid-range. So this is one of the only dual dynamic driver IEMs I reviewed. I think this is the first one. So let's start with the sound quality now. So starting from the bass, this has a lot of bass. It's thick, meaty, rumbly, all of those buzzwords. It's not the best controlled or textured, but it has in terms of the quantity, it's a lot. I do wish it was a little more calm and composed, more tighter. And then this IEM does have some mid bass, so you get full voices. It adds some warmth to the overall sound, so it doesn't sound thin in any way. So yeah, that's the bass side of things. It's decent. If you're a bass head, you're probably going to enjoy this one a lot because the amount of bass it has is just very, very present. Thick. So this doesn't sound thin at all by any stretch of imagination. And now on to the mid-range. So this IEM has the most forward upper mid-range I've ever heard. The 3, 4, and 5K regions are very forward and full. So when you listen to a song where the focus is the vocals are in the front and the instruments are playing behind it. And that's how it should be for any good IEM. Because when you go to a concert or orchestra session or whatever, the lead singer is in the front and then the instruments are playing behind it, like a violin in the left corner, the cymbals here, the cello player here. So I think the tuning of this IEM is pretty spectacular. In terms of the clarity, it's pretty clear. You get good notes in the upper mid-range. The lower mid-range is pretty flat other than some mid-bass. And this is a very Harmon-tuned IEM other than the slight bit of mid-bass. So if you want to try a Harmon tuning but you don't want to spend as much as the variations, I think this is an excellent option. This sounds like a Baby Variations. So yeah, really, really good upper mid-range. In terms of like the leading edge of the note, it is on the smoother side because I feel like that's because of the dynamic driver. So it's going to sound more smoother and forward. I don't really hear any plasticiness or any grain to the sound. So the texture of all of the sounds that comes out of this IEM is pretty spot on. I really can't nitpick about the way the texture of the mid-range is. And then the treble is smooth and airy. It has decent amounts of air. So if you listen to a violin or a flute, it's airy, but it doesn't reach those upper octaves like a balanced armature does. So I think that's just a limitation of the dynamic driver. But I mean, for a 2 BA set for this price point, I think it's amazing what they pulled off with this. It has almost perfect tuning. So now manufacturers can't really complain about having weird tunings, in my opinion, because this is perfect for the tuning. And then onto the soundstage and imaging. The soundstage is okay. It's nothing crazy. It just sounds decent. So when the recording is in like a hall, when you listen to recordings in a hall or like a studio where there's reverb, this IM just did an okay job. It didn't wow me in terms of the reverb effect with the instruments or that sense of open, airy feeling. I didn't get that. But then again, no IM has that until you spend a lot of money. So yeah, I can't really fault it. It just sounds close to the source. And then the imaging, I thought it was just okay. So let's talk about some music now. So I was listening to, let's start with 2 Steps from Hell, Victory, and Never Give Up on Your Dreams. I was listening to it on this IM, and the problem I had with it is I couldn't pinpoint where the instruments are coming from. So I thought the placement of the sound was a little off. It was slightly mushed in without clear incisiveness with the notes, with where the instruments are playing. And I didn't get a sense of being pinpoint. So when you listen to those orchestra tracks on this, the bass sounds a little blurry and not well defined, a little boomy, blurry, and then where the instruments are playing from kind of sounds a little mushed together. And then when I was listening to the IE600 just to test it out, it was very evident that the IE600 did a much better job on the orchestra tracks. I could pinpoint where the sound is when music is happening in a line on those orchestra tracks, like it's playing right here. On the IE600, I heard it perfectly, almost pinpoint. With this one, it just sounded like things were happening here, where it should have been happening here, like more spread out and layered. So in terms of like instrumental separation and layering, that's where this IM doesn't do the best job. But for $50, it's amazing. I really can't fault it. And then let's say you listen to some pop, like Taylor Swift, Moment I Knew, Back to December. Her voice is going to be very forward and the instruments will be in the background. So amazing tuning. And then let's say if you listen to some rap, hip-hop stuff with a lot of bass, the bass will be very bass-head-like on it. So I do wish the bass was a little calmer and more controlled on more laid-back genres. But then on fun genres with a lot of bass, the IM did a pretty decent job. So in terms of like pure tuning, this is basically perfection. I really cannot fault this IM for the tuning. It just has perfect tuning almost. So yeah, I mean, I haven't heard anything in the $50 price range, really. But I will say I like it more than the True. It just has a better bass, better mid-range, better treble. Compared to the Araya, I don't hear any grain. The treble extension is better. The bass is more fuller. So I would say this punch is pretty well above its price point. Competes with some IMs that cost maybe $100 to $150 in that range. So overall, pretty amazing, and I would recommend it if you don't want to spend that much. If you just want like a baby variations, then just get this. Pretty perfect tuning, good fit, good build, decent cable. So can't really fault it. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.